Good morning, everyone. I'm just checking here to make sure my mic is working. I hope you are all having a great start to your day. I'm going to just chat a little bit until I have a few people come and join me on here because it's always more fun when there's people here. This morning, Stampin' Up is starting its big year-end closeout sale. And what that means is we have a holiday catalog that is ending at the beginning of January. January 4th is the last day you can order from it. But right now, most of the products in the catalog are retiring. There's a few exceptions that are not retiring, but almost the entire catalog is retiring. And some of those products they have surplus of, and they are offering discounts on them. So I wanted just to draw your attention to that this morning because there's some great deals on that sale. Also, Stampin' Up updated the clearance rack. And the clearance rack has usually even deeper discounts on stuff. And so down in the description of this video, down below, I posted links that take you directly to the clearance rack page and directly to the year-end closeout sale. And this time I think they've done a better job, especially with the year-end closeout sale. They are telling us what is, it will say retiring, if it's retiring. And then it will also tell you if there is a discount right on the main page. Look for the red print, and that is something you should draw your attention to. And there's some really good deals to be had right now. There's also some things that you may not have picked up during the holiday catalog season, and now you're like, now's a good time to get it, even if it's not on sale. Like, oh, I just put it away. Last week I did these really cute cookie mix jars, and I used the jar tag or the jar punch, and I used a stamp set. Let me grab it. I used this stamp set here, the Lots to Celebrate stamp set, that has this little jar stamp right here, and it has all the great greetings and little things that go inside the jar. Well, once this retires, the jar punch will still be available, but this stamp set will no longer be available. All of these things are while supplies last. So, and we don't know the quantities. So if there's anything that you still wanted from the holiday catalog, I urge you to go check it out and make sure that you get anything that you still want. And also bop over to the clearance rack because this is a good time. Like if you create stuff for craft fairs and stuff like that, sometimes they have fabulous deals on like ribbon. I saw on there a bunch of Stampin' Blends, because now we only sell our Stampin' Blends as a pack, and they actually had the individual, some of the individual colors available. Even if they're still current, the individual color was available. So check that out this morning because while supplies last. All right, I have a few of you on here this morning. Good morning to Karen and Nancy and Dee and Miran, sorry, and Kathy. Um, uh, Thank you for joining me this morning. And today is Casing Tuesday, and that's when we take a card out of the annual catalog and we give it a makeover. So let's have a look at today's card. It is this card. And on first glance, okay, what attracted me to this card in particular was I love those little paper strips in the background, because guess what? I collect a lot of paper strips from cutting things up, and I need a way to use them up. So I did mine in a very controlled manner, but look at all the pretty paper patterns back there that you could choose from in your collection. Like say you have a pack of designer series paper and you have a bunch of tiny little strips left over, you can just layer them on a card like that. It just looks so pretty. And then add a greeting to the front, and there's your card. So that's what attracted me to this card. So the layout that we did is like a little bit plainer, but I really wanted to focus on those background strips because that's what mesmerized me about this card. But this will give you an idea of the dimensions. And I have the dimensions for everything that I did with my card up on my blog, and I will show you that in just a moment. So let me switch my camera here. Okay, here we go. I'm gonna see if I can zoom in a little bit. All right, so here's my card. And notice how I use the different paper strips in the background. I did a monochromatic design, so mine was really easy in terms of there's not a lot of complications on this card. The monochromatic nature of the card makes it really easy to pick those patterns. So I used the 2020-2022 in color pack, and I chose all Misty Moonlight designer series paper, and I just did little layers of paper strips. And then I used the So Sentimental Bundle to create the 2 layers on the front. Just really easy peasy. So this is my Misty Moonlight card, and today I'm going to do this card in a different color, and you could do these cards in all the different colors in the pack, and that would make a cute little card set. So here's the So Sentimental Bundle, and it consists of this greeting stamp set called So Sentimental, and these dies are called Stitched So Sweetly. They're a really good base set of dies, really good for your different sizes of greetings to cut out, and they also make really nice toppers for your 3D objects. All right, and remember, if you buy them as a bundle, you can save 10%. These products are from the annual catalog. All right, let us start by, let's make this card. So I'm going to need a little piece of Whisper White, and I'm going to, I need to clean off my greeting because I stamped it in, last time I used the stamp was in Misty Moonlight, and I don't want to muddy my ink colors. So here's my stamping chamois. It has seen better days, but it still works. This chamois is fabulous. I just reactivate it each day when I'm stamping with water, just run it under water. And yes, it gets stained and it looks really gross. And anyone who walked into this room would probably want to throw this out because they thought it looked terrible. But it's actually just really traps the ink off of the stamp like nothing else does. So I really enjoy using it. It kind of sits behind my camera here out of view most of the time because I don't really want to show it. But it's really, really good for cleaning off your stamps. And the reason you want to clean off your stamps is because you don't want to muddy your ink pads because otherwise the color will no longer be true. So I've got Magenta Madness here. And I'm just going to tap on my ink pad and stamp it right in the center. Ooh, so pretty. That's a really nice, what I would call a true pink color. It's just kind of right in the middle of the pinks. Just, oh, I love it. Okay, so now I'm going to grab my Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine. Hope it fits on here. Put the camera down so far. So I'll put my little greeting here and grab my die. It's easier to stamp first and then die cut afterwards. And I'll grab the larger one too because we're going to use it in a second. And if you notice that your dies with the stitching stick at all, just rub them on some wax paper and that helps them release a little better. So let me just run this through. Okay. And this is why they call them Stitched So Sweetly, because you can kind of see the stitching on there. So nice. Okay, now we're going to take the larger of these dies, and I've got a piece of Magenta Madness, and I'm going to run that through with that bigger die. And the reason I run these through on camera is I know everyone knows how to die cut, but not everyone knows how to die cut. People that are new to stamping don't know about this process, so I like to show it. So here is my little die, and again, look at the little stitching on the edge. It's so pretty. All right. Let me set this aside. Okay, so now we can take the two of these and layer these together with a little bit of Tombow. And just center that. Needs to be a little bit over. Okay, push down on there. All right, so I want to make sure that I can add some ribbon to the back of here. So what I'm gonna do, I know this is probably something I would normally do at the end, but let me just show you how I did that crisscross pattern. So I'm just gonna take a few pieces of Terran tape. This is double-sided adhesive. I'm just going to run them on the back of this piece. And then I'm going to take some of my, this is called crinkled seam binding, and I need to remove my strips, my double-sided liner. I have no fingernails right now. None whatsoever. Okay. So then I just kind of took this. Oops. The nice thing is with this double-sided adhesive, you can pick it up again. So I'm just going to layer this down and across, and then give it a little loop on this side and come around and give it a little loop on this side, and then come across like this. So then you can flip it over. And look, I don't like this big floppy loop over on this side. So guess what? I'm going to redo it. That's the thing. You can peel it off and redo it. I think that loop on that side is a little too big. So I'm just going to make it just a little smaller. Okay. And then I'm going to come across here. Now I'm sticking my fingers to here and loop this over on the side. And then bring it across like that. Let's have a look. Yeah, I think I kind of like that. Let me just lift this up just a bit more. Bring it across. Okay, so now what I can do, grab my ribbon scissors and just give it a little cut. I'm going to cut this way. And there's my ribbon for the background of this piece. Okay, and then I can add a little bit more of my double-sided adhesive if I want to make sure it sticks really well up at the top. I'm also sticking my fingers to my label. And normally, I don't even like to run ribbon back and forth at the back of the card. I have trouble with that. It doesn't seem logical to me, really. But I like to try things every once in a while and try and shake things up. And I didn't find this too bad. I feel like I still had a bit of control over where the ribbon went. So I'm just going to set this aside for a moment and hopefully not stick my fingers into it. So then I'll bring in my card base, and it's Marvelous Magenta, not Marvelous Magenta, Magenta Madness. We used to have a Marvelous Magenta color, so now I can't get that out of my head. So this piece measures 8.5 by 5.5, and it's scored in half at the 4.25 inch mark. All right, and then I cut some pieces earlier. I actually had some pieces already in this size left over, or bits of pieces. These all measure 5.5 by 3.75. So let's just have a look at my little patterns. I liked this pattern that I did. So there's one of these strips. This one I want as it's symmetrical. So I'm going to put this one down here. And one of my strips with the dots on the back had a more symmetrical cut. So I'm going to use that as my next piece. And then I need, let's see. Okay, this one's more symmetrical. So I'm going to make this one, and then this one comes here. And then this one will be up at the top. And this one, let's make sure I put the print on the right direction. Okay, so now all I need to do is align these and kind of get them into the place where they should be. There's going to be a little bit of cardstock peeking out at the top and the bottom, so you want to lay it out first and then grab your first strip. I'm just going to put Tombow on the back of it, and it's going to be up about 1/4 inch. Okay, so just a great way to use up those paper scraps. And on the original card, you can see they used all different sizes of the paper scraps. Like they used like skinny ones, and then I think the biggest one they used would have been 3/4 inch. But it's just a great way to layer up those paper scraps. And I'm using all 4 patterns of this paper. So that's nice. I'm showcasing them all. And I'm ending and starting with the same pattern, that denim pattern. And we'll see when my card is done which one I like better, the magenta card or the moonlight card. Okay, and then this one. And stick it down here. The glue lets you slide everything into place. There. Look at that. Look at all the patterns. So pretty. Okay, and now we're going to add a piece of vellum to the middle right here. And you can use glue if you want to, but I don't want it to kind of squish out the side. So I'm just going to put a piece of tear and tape right in the center of this vellum where the greeting's going to be. So vellum shows through, or the adhesive can show through the vellum. So I try and pick a spot that's going to be covered up by something. You can barely see that now. And I know that's greeting's going to be in the center. So now I'm just going to go ahead and try and center this vellum as best I can. Okay, push down. All right, and then I'm going to grab my piece right here, and I'm going to try and center it. I think that looks good. Press it down. And look, don't think that ribbon looks too bad in the background. I did do a little controlling of it, right? It's not perfectly symmetrical, but I'm pretty happy with it. Kind of not exactly how they had it on the original card, but it is ribbon that's going back and forth in the background. I should get credit for that, right? And then I'm just going to add a few little pearls to my card. So let me put one here. And another one here. Pearls are nice because they blend in, but they're there. Like they're not going to distract you from the card, but they are right there. You can see on there, they just add a little something, but they don't take away from the greeting at all because they blend in with the Whisper White. All right, so here are the two cards. What do you think? So the only difference really that I did between the two cards, I actually use Knight of Navy cardstock to pop this piece a little bit more rather than going back to the Misty Moonlight card base. But on this magenta card, I use the same color in the background and on the label. So I think I could have probably used Misty Moonlight here too if I wanted to keep the supplies like easier. So what do you think? Which card do you like better? Are you a Misty Moonlight person or are you a Magenta Madness person? And you know, we've got several. This color pack comes with Bumblebee and Just Jade and Cinnamon Cider. So you could make them in all of the different colors and make a bunch of thank you cards. You can also buy, and I didn't put this on my supply list. Let me come back to you. You can also buy a multi-pack of the in-color cardstock. So instead of buying a full pack of Misty Moonlight, you could buy the cardstock color combination pack. And if you're making a bunch of those cards, then it will save you a little bit of money if you don't need a full pack of cardstock. And then you can just pick up the Designer Series paper pack that matches. And it's just like really easy peasy to make a bunch of those cards. And you know what? I think they're kind of cute, right? They've kind of got that, you know, kind of happy feel. And you can use these all the year long. Hey, if you wanted to make a Christmas thank you card, or like a thank you card that you were going to give in December, you could use your Christmas paper in the background as well and make it a little bit more festive. You don't have to do the monochromatic. That's hard to say. Monochromatic. Okay, see, like in this one, I think I would have liked this card a little better if they didn't have the green in the background of the Christmas blessings. And I wouldn't have used, I'm critiquing the catalog card, right? What do I know? But I probably wouldn't have used that early espresso ribbon in the background. I would have gone back to a red or a green, maybe the red sheer ribbon. I like the layout of this card, but I don't necessarily like the final execution with the label. I think I like more of a clean look, especially since that gold embossing on the Christmas blessings is so pretty. So I think I would have gone back and done a different ribbon in the background, and I would have had just a plain Whisper White label for the Christmas blessings to be on. So yeah, I'm critiquing catalog cards now. Isn't that wonderful? Okay, let me close that off. All right, I'm going to read some of your comments and see what you think. I already said hello to some people. Hello, Amy and Mary. And oh, there's someone here from the Philippines. I don't know how to pronounce her name, but maybe it's Misi. I don't know, but welcome. And hello, Sharon and Karen. Um, and let me see who else is here. And Janine and Dee. Dee says the cards are beautiful and would make a great card set from any of the DSP packs. Yeah, if you don't like the in color pack, you could choose one of the other color packs that we have as well. We have the neutrals, the brights, the subtles, and the brights. So we've got lots of different color packs to choose from, and they all have a designer series pack, and they all have a multi-pack of cardstock, which is really nice. Dee says the frosted vellum would be pretty with the poinsettia paper as well. Yes, that would be. It would be really nice. Um, Janine says, I like the layout, but don't care for this particular paper and color choice. Too many papers make me a little nutsy. Yeah, I think sometimes so if you go back to the card that Stampin' Up did, I really like the background, actually, the way they layered up the paper. I think they could have done a little bit cleaner of a look, which would have made me happier. Like if they had like a white greeting label, I think that would have made me happy. And the other thing is bringing in that early espresso ribbon. I would have preferred to choose a color out of the paper as my ribbon color, or go back to white, because to me it just looks a little bit out of place. But I tend to like a little bit more matching, and that's not necessarily always the style. Now, I'm glad Stampin' Up has different styles in the catalog because it's it's interesting, but we don't all have the same styles. I know members in my team who like more embellishment, and so it's nice when you have different styles. But I do prefer kind of a clean white focal point. For me, my eyes like to focus in on a clean look, so that's just my style. But that's what Casing Tuesday is kind of fun, is because it makes you think. It is kind of a design challenge, and for beginners, it's great too, because you can definitely take that card and use it as a jumping off point. But for people that are more experienced, like what I tend to do is analyze the card and see what pieces that I can use for my cards. So it's a really good exercise. If you're not already a part of our Casing Tuesday group, there's over 3,000 of us on this group. Not everyone posts every week. I don't want to scare you off in that way, but it's neat. We do have a great number of people posting. And each week we post the card that I did, and you can make that card yourself. You can use the layout and create your own card and then share it with us. So it's kind of a fun exercise to do with us every week. And if you're interested in that and you're not already part of the group, look down below in the description of this video, and there is a link to our Casing Tuesday Facebook group, and you can join it. And Lori, our person who welcomes everyone to the group, will approve you within a week and get you up on our Casing Tuesday site. And the new cards post every Tuesday morning at 6 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Or if you're in a different part of the world and you wonder what Eastern Standard Time is, it is, think New York. Set it to New York time, and that is Eastern Standard Time. All right. Janine says, the card reminds me of cleaning out the refrigerator and using all the leftovers. Sometimes that's what we have to do with our cards. I like the idea of the different scraps being used to create a complete meal, Janine, and a fun card. And Karen says, my style is beautiful. Well, thank you. I appreciate that. I don't consider myself an expert. I just know what I like and enjoy. And if you do this for a while, then you find your own style, right? All right, guys, I hope you have a great week. I will be back on Friday with either a fancy full card or a 3D project. We're going to kind of be switching gears. It will be, I don't think I'll be doing holiday related projects just because by this point, most of you will have already decided and already made your holiday stuff. So I'm going to be switching gears a little bit and maybe working towards doing things for the new year using some annual catalog products that will still be available into the new year. All right, guys, I hope you have a great week until then. If you want to catch my live on Friday at 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, I will be on my YouTube channel, not on Facebook. You can find me, one of the things you can do, I'll just share my screen with you. You can click over to my blog. My description is down below, and in the description, there is always a link to my blog. So let me just share my screen with you. This is the link that it would take you to on my blog. And up at the top, if you're interested in the sale I talked about earlier, you can click on these banners and they will take you right over to the sale, like this giant year-end closeout sale. If you click on that, I'm clicking, it's deciding. It's going to take you right over to the sale, okay? And then similarly, let me go back. The clearance rack one should take you over to the clearance rack sale. And look at those are the Stampin' Blends I was telling you about. You know, the Granite Gray Stampin' Blend marker single one is $1.80. That's a pretty good price. And look at those doilies. They used to be $4.50. They're $1.80. Look at this paper from last year, the Country Club Designer Series paper, $4.60. Some really good prices over there on the clearance rack. So then I'm just going to go back to my blog again. I just want to show you, I have pictures of my cards. I have pictures of the original cards and the sketch and the measurements. Down here I have the measurements for my card, and I have a clickable supply list. Click on any of these items and you can, well, let me show you. It will take you over to the item, and then it gives you more details about the item, and if you want to purchase it, you can purchase it at that point. So then we come back over to the supply list again. Here's some information about my host code and my free with purchase tutorial program. If you purchase $15 or more on an order, you can choose one of my tutorials for free. And this is one of my free with purchase tutorials right here. And if you spend $75 with me during the month using this host code, you will get these little heart jewels that will be available starting in January. Oh, also look, this is an add all to cart. If you have many things that you're thinking of, you can add all of them to your cart, and then you can go in and delete the ones that you don't want. So that is basically just taking you over to my blog. Let me go back to me. All right, guys, I will see you on Friday. Have a great week until then, and don't forget to check out that sale. Take care. Bye-bye.